G'day and welcome to the National Virtual Expo. Thank you for joining me. I'm Rob Malicki on Garigal Land in Sydney. I'm really excited about this session because just a couple of months ago, I drove up from Sydney to the magnificent New England region to visit the University of New England. I hadn't been to the campus in, I want to say like 15 years, and I didn't know what to expect. And you know what? I was utterly blown away by what this institution is doing. So really glad to be welcoming you to this session on the University of New England. And I'm really grateful to be joined today by Sarah from the UNE team. Now, Sarah, before you talk, I need to take my hat off so I can put on some headphones and hear you. Give me 1 second.
No worries.
It's great to see you. And people who may have attended other sessions at the Expo might be a little bit shocked to see my head because I'm literally always wearing my hat. Great to see you, Sarah. Thanks for joining me at the National Virtual Expo.
No, thanks for having me. What a great opportunity.
And look, it's a magnificent time of year up in the New England region, isn't it?
Oh, it is actually. I'm just looking outside our window. We've got beautiful gum trees all over campus, and it's a beautiful kind of crisp autumn day today. So just, yeah, lovely time of year.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching along live, thank you for joining us live. If you have questions, regardless of where you're watching, if you're on the session hub, you can just pop them in the chat and they will come through to us. If you're watching this streaming on social media, just put your question in the comments. They will also come straight through to us. And we'll try to get to as many of those live questions as we can. I've also got some questions that came in via that survey that we sent out before the Expo. So we'll definitely be getting to some of those. If you're watching this on the recording, thank you for joining us on the recording. You can ask your questions via the Choosing Your Uni Discord, details in the session description down below. And for parents, we have a Facebook community just for you, also details in the description down below. But with all those formalities out of the way, Sarah, I might pass over to you to introduce us to the University of New England. How does that sound?
Yeah, of course. Happy to.
Okay, let's do it.
Great. Well, yeah, my name's Sarah, everyone. I'm the team leader of the Future Students team here at UNE. The Future Students team is really a dedicated team to helping prospective students find their way to UNE. So I'm really glad to be presenting this session to you today. We're really on deck to answer any questions that you might have regarding, what course is right for you, how do you apply, how do you get enrolled. So yeah, some really important information that we're going over today that I think will help a lot of you if you're thinking about UNE as an option. So just to start out a little bit about UNE, a fun fact, we were actually established in 1938 by the University of Sydney, and we were the first university established outside of a capital city. So I can definitely see why Armidale was chosen. It's a beautiful place. We're about in between kind of Sydney and Brisbane, if you're wondering where we are. So yeah, located in the beautiful Armidale, New South Wales. We have on-campus and online study available, as well as hybrid study and flexibility. So that's something that's really popular with UNE. We're probably known for being an online university, but we have a really vibrant on-campus life as well. Something unique about UNE is that we run off a trimester-based system. So a lot of universities will run off a traditional kind of semester-based system where they'll have 2 study periods a year. We actually have 3, so that's really great for people who either want to condense all of their study into trimester 1 and 2 and then take a nice lovely break over the holiday period, or space out their studies, or even fast track their degree by picking up additional units over trimester 3. So that can be really great if you're interested in flexibility. We're the only Australian public university that has been awarded the maximum 5 stars for overall experience 20 years in a row by the Good Universities Guide. It's something that we're really proud of, and I think comes down to the level of support that we offer all of our students here at UNE. We're also a regional university, so that means you've got access to your lecturers in smaller class sizes. So that can be really great in getting to actually know your lecturers as a person. We've got easy to access lecture theatres, labs, and facilities, a wide range of scholarships, including academic, equity, and accommodation funds, and overall just enjoying a lower cost of living, living in regional Australia. So, yeah, it's a really great university to be a part of, especially if you're coming on campus.
Hey Sarah, I might just jump in there.
Yeah.
Just like that good uni's got. I just want to point out to people just how extraordinary that
Mm,
five-star rating for overall experience is. Like some people might look at and look, I'm super skeptical when it comes to like rankings and ratings and everything. I've been in the
yeah,
industry
yeah,
too
yeah.
long to otherwise. But what underpins that overall experience ranking is actually Australian government data. It's from
Hmm.
a survey series called the Quality Indicators for Learning and Teaching. Actually, I'll have a whole session on that on Saturday afternoon if you're interested. But that's the feedback from real
Yeah.
students. It's not made up. It's not the
Mm-mm.
university, paying for brand. Like that's an extraordinary
Yeah.
result. And look, the other thing I just emphasise, those people watching along, wondering if UNE is for them, can I just spruik Australia's regional universities for a moment? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay, some people just want to be in the big city. That's true. You want that bustling, vibrant environment. Okay, great. Like inner city, great. But I just reckon there are so many people who are probably watching this for whom a regional university is just perfect. That lower cost of living,
Mm-hmm.
the more relaxed pace of life, the tighter community, the smaller class sizes, and I'm sure you're going to get to this too. Employment outcomes and starting salaries are better, almost universally, in the regions than they are in the cities. Um, I think I'm
Yeah.
going to back quietly out of the room now and let
No,
you get
no,
back to it. I was just,
I was actually one of those students who was looking at. I've studied at UNE. I actually did I graduated from a Bachelor of Laws and Bachelor of Criminology back in 2021. And when I was in high school, I had my sights set on the city. And kind of last minute, I actually decided, you know what, I think I feel more comfortable in regional New South Wales. And it was honestly the best decision I've made. I've actually ended up moving to Armidale and I live here now. So definitely.
that is, and this is the thing, is like I speak to thousands of students
Mm,
all across Australia. The number of times that I've heard that from people who've moved to the
mhm.
regions, had friends that went to UNE that
Yeah.
had an amazing experience. I've become such a strong advocate that,
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, you
definitely.
need to go to the place that suits you best. You know you better than anyone else. So if you feel like being in a high pressure environment, being around bazillions of people in the inner city is not your thing, do the right thing, follow your intuition, and have a
Mhm.
serious think about moving out to one of these amazing places in the country. I'm going to jump off the stage here and let you get back to it, Sarah. Let's go back to the
Great.
presentation.
Easy. Also wanted to touch on what you can study at UNE. I think we probably have a bit of a name for potentially nursing, education, and agriculture, but we actually offer so many different courses across a wide variety of different faculties. So we've got animals and agriculture. We've got a fantastic business school, things like finance, economics, business management, marketing, earth and environmental studies, education and teaching. We actually offer everything from early childhood teaching, so from birth to 5, all the way up until secondary teaching. So you can do any type of education through us. We're very, very popular for health. We actually just had our on campus open day last week. And as part of one of the Future Students team's activations, we had a big board with all of our different study areas and we asked people to place a sticker on what they were most interested in studying. And health ended up being the most popular. So, very popular for things like nursing and medicine. We have a fantastic humanities and arts school. IT, data science, languages, linguistics and international studies, law and criminology, which is my background, psychology and mental health, sciences and social sciences. So, really, we offer just a wide variety of courses that potentially you didn't know we offer at UNE.
Can I jump in there? Just a question's come in from the chat here, which is
Mhm.
just asking, because since you've just mentioned all the courses,
Mm.
how do I know if I'm eligible for my preferred course, and what if I'm not?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's probably something that we get asked the most in our team. We'll get people call up and say, "Can I even study this course?" What we would typically recommend is we have what is called the UNE course handbook. If you Google UNE handbook, it's literally the first link that pops up. From there, you can search any of our courses and there will be an entry requirement section. We actually break it down depending on where you're really coming from. If you're a school leaver, if you're coming from TAFE, if you've got professional experience, and it'll break down what we can consider as part of that entry requirement. The best way to do that is actually just apply. You can apply for free direct to UNE, and it takes about 1 to 2 weeks to receive an outcome if you've finished year 12. So it's really the best way to find out if you're eligible. Our admissions team will assess all of your documents, all the information that you give us. In the event that you're not quite yet eligible, we don't just turn you away. We actually try and find you the most suitable pathway into the course that you're interested in, so that you're feeling well prepared by the time you're ready to study that course. And often there's a little bit of credit transfer involved, so you're not doing any additional study, if much at all.
Yeah, look, I love that. I know a lot of people here might have that ATAR anxiety, like they're
Mm,
aiming for something and they're afraid that they might not get the mark, or might just miss out. And I love that, the fact that they can reach
mm,
out and find out the other ways in, because, ladies and gentlemen, there is always another way into what you want to do,
hmm.
even for the most competitive courses. If you
Yeah.
want it, you can make it happen. So that sounds like a good opportunity. I'm going to let you
Yeah.
get back to it, Sarah. I'm going to jump off
Yeah.
stage now.
Great. No worries. Yeah, as I mentioned before, we're probably known as a bit more of an online university purely because we're one of the universities that has been doing online education the longest. But we do have a really vibrant on campus lifestyle. So I did want to talk about why you might consider living on campus if it's not something that you've thought about. We have 7 different accommodation options for you to choose from, and they all kind of have their own unique sense of identity and community. There's a bit of variety in the different styles of living. So if you're a little bit more independent and interested in apartment style kind of accommodation, we do offer that. And we also have your traditional kind of residential colleges where you'll have your private room, but it is in more of a dorm situation with communal facilities. So lots of different options. It's also a very affordable option. So prices start from about $180 a week in this economy. That can be really helpful if you're going to be a student for a while. We have both catered and self-catered options available. Free amenities, so you're not paying for Wi-Fi, water, electricity, or heating, which is really important in Armidale, especially in winter. Also, really close to classes and on campus facilities. One of the colleges is actually located on campus, so you can literally walk to your classes. And it's just a really great opportunity to meet lifelong friends and enjoy fun events. I actually met my best friend at college and also my husband. So, some of the closest people in my life I met at college. There's also the opportunity to enjoy themed events and activities, study nights, there's sporting clubs and intercollegiate competitions. Netball, rugby, kayaking is actually quite big here. So, yeah, lots of different opportunities for sporting activities and also just unique perks and experiences. Some of the colleges actually offer free membership to our on campus gym and also things like art and cultural opportunities. One of the colleges also has an annual musical. So, if theatre's your thing, then there's also options to kind of explore that at college as well.
Yeah, this is amazing, right? Like, and a couple of things I'd love to pick up on there. Actually, sorry, first there was a question that came through
Mhm.
in advance of the session, which maybe ties in there, because you're talking about studying online, and that they're saying, do I have to attend the campus at all if I'm studying online? That was the question that came in.
Yeah, yeah. It depends on the course, really. Some of our
Mm,
courses are offered in a completely online capacity. So things that are probably a little bit more theory focused. An example would be something like law or maybe counseling. Those type of courses where you're not necessarily having lab components or hands-on components as part of the course. Usually you can study those completely online. For things like pharmacy, nursing, science, where there might be a bit more of a hands-on component to actually satisfy your course requirements, we have what are called intensive schools. Those are really short blocks of on campus learning where you satisfy all hands on requirements in the one go. So, if you have a course that has intensive schools, it's normally about once a trimester that you'll come to the campus. We hold them in a 2 week period, so you don't have to come back and forth all the time. And that allows you to study the rest of your course from the comfort of your own home. And really, it's a great opportunity. I love intensive schools. I know some people complain about them, but I honestly think it's a really great opportunity to meet friends, to actually get to know your lecturers as well. And the
Mm.
university offers a lot of support around that. You can stay on campus in our residential colleges for intensives. And the university does really fun things like activities for people who are coming for intensives, free lunches, and things like that. So it's a really great opportunity to come on campus when you're an online student.
As you said earlier, UNE was basically the first institution in the country to do not
Mm,
just online but distance education,
mhm,
and I think this is really important to point out. If you are thinking of doing online or hybrid studies, um, UNE has got this built into the core of what it does. It hasn't just like developed lectures that it used to deliver in person and then just slap them up on an online platform. It's been literally developing this methodology, this architecture for delivering online and via distance for decades. And so the level of quality that you'll get in those
mm.
online courses, in my view, is going to be higher than maybe some pretty, sort of flashy name universities in the big smoke, um, simply because this is built into the core of the institution.
Yeah, and I can even say when I studied, I've studied both online and on campus. I started out as an on-campus student, and in my last year, I transitioned to online, and the level of support I received was exactly the same. So you can rest assured that if you're a little bit worried about feeling like you're on your own if you're going to be doing online study, you get access to all the same supports that an on-campus student would have access to.
Nice. I want to pull out one other thing. I pulled up this presentation again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at that number, $180 a week in. Sorry, I'm just going to get on my high horse for a moment here. In Sydney,
Yeah. Mm,
the cost of like some of the student accommodation can be like $800 a week. $800. And even like average rent in Sydney is like well up over $350. That money has to come from somewhere. Now, if you're from a wealthy background, like you're very fortunate. But for a lot of people, that difference in cost is the difference between having to work, maybe
mm.
5 or 10 hours a week, or having to work 20 or more hours a week to pay for your rent. Think about what that does for your lifestyle, not having to spend all that extra time out working, earning money, and being able to commit that to your studies or to getting involved in other activities. That to me is a massive reason, if you're thinking of moving away for uni, why regional universities are absolutely worth a look.
And just
Um,
on that really quickly too, another really popular option, because some people, college might be a really great experience for a year, and then maybe you
yeah,
want a little bit more independence. It's actually a really popular option with the friends that you meet at college to actually move out into a rental in town. And so that's also if you're sharing the rent across a couple of different people, and there's lots of different rental options in town as well, then that can also help give you a little bit more independence outside of college, but you're also still enjoying that much lower cost of living.
yeah, and look, a lot of unis now are starting to hone in on the sort of on-campus student experience. Once again, this has been built into UNE's
Mm.
DNA since forever, because it was literally built as the first university for the regions for people from outside the big smoke. So this has been part of the culture of the place. The university and the colleges know how to do that really well. It's not just something that's been come along in the last sort of 10 years. Not to criticize that, like it's a different type of experience, but this has been a core of UNE for a long time. Um, I'm getting too excited here, so I'm going to step out, Sarah, and let you go on.
Easy as. Still kind of touching on life in Armidale. I do think it is something that it might not be a place that you've considered, but I think there's a reason that we were the first university to be outside of a capital city. It is just such a beautiful place. I mentioned I fell in love with it and I now live here. We're probably really well known for having our four seasons. We've got beautiful sunny days in summer. There's lots of blossoms around town. So in spring, you get the beautiful pink trees all across town. Autumn, there's probably a lot of pictures when you search up Armidale, you'll see all of the beautiful different coloured trees in autumn. And of course, sometimes we get snow in winter. So all four seasons, it's a beautiful climate, which is really great. Also lots of beautiful national parks, waterfalls and hiking trails around, lots of amazing local businesses, cafes, restaurants. We have a winery, there's breweries and farmers markets on the weekend. So those are really wholesome and wonderful events to attend with your friends. Also lots of community events. There's a lot happening in Armidale. We have lots of different festivals. We've actually got a music festival that's happening next week. So that's also a really great opportunity. A lot of people in college will have their friends and family come up and stay that week and attend the festival. So yeah, we're really excited about that. And UNE is a sponsor of that festival. Lots of art and culture opportunities. We have a wonderful art museum here in Armidale, and it's just a really friendly and welcoming community. UNE often partners with a lot of different events in town, and so it's a great opportunity to get involved and be part of the community. I kind of also wanted to touch on, I mentioned before the Good Universities Guide ranking that we have, you know, the maximum 5 stars for overall student experience 20 years in a row. I wanted to talk about why that is, because I don't think, while we're very, very grateful to have that rating and obviously very grateful that that's how our students feel, I don't think we're really surprised, because we have really nailed the student experience and all the support that is available to you. So really, if you did live on campus, you probably wouldn't need to go anywhere. We have our very own post office and UNE merchandise and textbook shop that's actually located on the campus. So that's really helpful if you're living in college. You can rent out a parcel locker and have all of your deliveries come up to the post office. So that's really convenient. The textbook shop is also available for online students as well. And if you are a UNE student, you get a 10% discount. So that can help alleviate some of the financial burden that comes with textbooks and supplies and things like that. Another really great thing with the textbook shop is it's often that a lot of students will buy textbooks, use them for a couple of units, and then we actually facilitate the option of selling those textbooks secondhand. So that's a really great way of making a little bit of money back once you've finished with your textbooks. And also, if you're going into a unit, that can help take a little bit of the financial pressure off as well if you're buying textbooks secondhand. So yeah, available for on-campus and online students. We also have our own on-campus gym. It is fully equipped. It also has a brand new indoor pool and a rock climbing wall, which is really cool. Some of the colleges do offer free membership to that, but even if you aren't with a college that offers free membership, students still get a discount on their membership. We have lots of different cafes as well on campus, so opportunities to go and keep yourself caffeinated while you're studying, food options and things like that. There's also an on-campus hairdresser, so honestly, you really don't have to leave the campus, and students get a 10% discount on all of those wonderful services as well.
When I visited yeah, a couple of months back now, yeah, the gym facilities are absolutely amazing,
Oh, yeah,
and I learnt an interesting fact, which is the University of New England has a scuba diving
we
club.
do, and they often practice in the pool,
It's
I've
pretty
heard.
cool. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
cool, and
yeah,
of course, flakes like, because New England, to get out to Coffs Harbour is a couple of hours drive, and so
yeah,
there's
yeah, we're not
magnificent
far.
scuba diving out
Mhm.
there. So, yeah, I just love the universities. They've got these little quirky things. You can be
Yeah,
2 hours from the coast and join the scuba diving
still
club.
have a scuba diving club. Yeah, yeah. Even we have one of the colleges has a kayaking club. So, you know, that's really, we have a dam here in Armidale as well. So they practice out in the dam, and yeah, lots of different opportunities. So if you've got a niche interest, I bet we'll have some sort of club or society for you.
Definitely.
Yeah, great. So yeah, we've also got our very own radio station called Tune FM that broadcasts across the New England, and that's also a really great opportunity if you're interested in things like media and communications. That's an opportunity for you to get a little bit of experience in that area. We've got a student accessibility and wellbeing office. This is a service that's available for a little bit of additional support surrounding your studies. If you're going through a tough period, if you're kind of living with intellectual or physical disabilities, this team can help make sure that you've got the right adjustments and that your accessibility needs are met while you're studying. UNE students have access to psychological and counselling services, because obviously we want to make sure that you're fully supported through your studies. So we make sure that you have access mental health wise. There is the Urala Indigenous Centre. So that is a place that offers additional support for our Indigenous and Torres Strait Islander students, and also offers a sense of community. We've got our very own healthcare centre. We have peer-assisted study sessions they're called PASS for short. Access to free tutoring. We've even got a careers team, which I think is really important for graduate outcomes. This is a team that can help you with things like resume writing, career planning, and networking. We also have a museum of antiquities and a natural history museum, lots and lots of different clubs and societies, as we kind of touched on before, the scuba diving club. So yeah, there's a gaming society, there's a law society, farming futures, there's all different types of things to get involved in depending on your interests. We also have smart farms at UNA, so these are really used for kind of like our rural science and agricultural students. It's an opportunity to get really hands-on experience out on our smart farms. And if you're on campus, we also have a 24/7 safety and security team so that you're always kind of feeling safe and at home while you're on campus.
Question there's just come through. What's a smart farm? That's a question. I'd love to answer that in the chat if I could, but I can't. What's a smart farm?
We actually have a couple of different properties around the New England. I think they're only within about 5 minutes from each other. But yeah, these are really used for research and agricultural students. But yeah, they're literal farms. I think SMART, it stands for Sustainable, Manageable, Accessible Rural Technologies.
Nice.
So there's 8 properties covering 3,655 hectares. So
Wow.
yeah, really great if you're interested. I think that's probably why we have such a name for ourselves in agriculture. We actually
Yeah.
have the land and the resources to be able to give you that really special experience.
And just to speak to ag, like maybe there's some people watching here who haven't thought about agriculture as a study area, but agriculture actually draws in students from a
Mm,
wide range of disciplines, not just people who want to be farmers, driving a tractor. But if you're a scientist, you're into ecology.
yeah.
If you're into business, like
Mm,
the business of agriculture, logistics, transport, engineering, like there are so many fields where maybe you want to set up a life for yourself where great employment outcomes, great
mhm,
salaries, a easiest pace of life outside the cities. Thinking about actually working in agriculture, one of the biggest industries in Australia,
mm.
um, is a fantastic idea because you don't have to just be a farmer. You can be all of that
Yeah.
peripheral stuff that the industry actually needs.
Yeah, and we offer quite a wide variety of courses in this particular area. There's also a specific, like a Bachelor of Agribusiness. So if you are more interested in that business side, kind of connects the both. But I've had a lot of friends that have studied in this area, and some of them are agronomists, some of them are in kind of business management. So it really is just a very vast career that if you haven't thought of it might be something
Yeah.
because it's a really great career.
A mate of mine has ended up in agriculture, and same thing. He sort of came through banking and finance
Mm,
and management, project management.
mhm.
Now he's in agriculture, and the all I can say, ladies and gentlemen, the number of opportunities in that domain is just uncapped. It's one of the areas where if you want a job, like there is work all over Australia in the agricultural space. Everything from like picking the berries right through to like being in management and everything in between, just because it is a booming area, it's needed, and your skill set, whatever you're interested in, literally has a place in that field, even if you've maybe never thought of that before.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
might let you get back to it, Sarah. I'm going to jump off.
Yeah, great. I also wanted to touch on scholarships, prizes, and awards. I'd say probably a lot of people who are watching will be looking at kind of starting undergraduate. So all of our undergraduate degrees, provided that you're eligible, will be offered in a Commonwealth supported place. That basically means that the government will subsidise at least part of your course. In some areas, depending on what field of study you're going into, it'll actually subsidise the majority of your course. And you can also, if you're eligible, you can defer your fees onto a HEX help loan and then start paying those back when you meet the income threshold. But being a student, we acknowledge that there is a little bit of financial consideration that is involved with that. And so we try and alleviate that stress as much as possible. So we do have access to a wide range of scholarships, prizes, and awards, not just for academic achievement, but things like equity and access if you're Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander. Um, there's also scholarships if you're planning to live on campus. So we do really have a wide range of scholarships, and if it's something that you haven't considered, definitely explore it. We also have a dedicated scholarships team, so if you're interested in applying, that team can definitely kind of point you in the right direction.
Can I just? So I have to jump in here. Apply for scholarships.
Please.
Please apply for scholarships. You would be
Yeah.
stunned. So like I talk to unis all day, every day. I talk to students all day, every day. The amount of money that is left on the table in terms of unused scholarships in this country would blow your mind. Even if you think, oh, I'm not like academically, like I'm not
Mm-hmm.
like a 90, there's money everywhere in these little pockets for different things, initiatives, because of your background, because of your family history, because of what you're studying. There are prizes that universities award for all sorts of different
Mm-hmm.
things. Please, please, please,
Yeah.
even if you think that you're not like a genius that should be getting scholarships, have a look and apply, because there's so much opportunity there just being left on the table.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
Back to you, Sarah.
Great. There's a couple of different ways that you can apply to UNE, especially depending on what type of student you are. So I'll touch on probably the main three. First would be direct to UNE. Not every university offers this, but here at UNE, we actually allow you to apply direct through us completely for free. All you need to do is go to our website, and there is a how to apply page that will direct you through to our portal. It's really suitable for anyone. Again, completely free. There are no fees involved. And we have what are called rolling outcomes. So, with kind of traditional university admission, usually there'll be rounds, so you might apply and then it might be a month before you hear back. But at UNE, our admissions team actually get in there and they're constantly making assessments as soon as you kind of submit your application. Normally, it takes about 1 to 2 weeks to receive your application if you apply directly through UNE. And it doesn't take away if you want to apply through UAC or QTAC, you can still do that. But it is a really great option if you're just wanting to see if you're eligible at UNE. You can apply for up to 3 courses, and if you're eligible, you can be made an offer for those 3 courses. So, yeah, again, a really great way to apply to UNE. If you're in year 12 at the moment, direct to UNE, probably you can still apply through that, but what will happen is your application will be placed on hold, and when ATARs are released, then the admissions team will go in and assess your application. If you are currently in year 12, we probably steer you more towards our early entry program, which I will go into a little bit more in the next couple of slides. But basically, this is a really great opportunity. And if you're in year 12 and you do one thing, you take one thing from this session, please apply for early entry. It is such a no-brainer. It basically allows you to receive an early outcome before you've even start your HSC exams. And so you kind of got that offer there for UNE, and it takes the stress away from year 12.
Bit of a question for you here. So I've got a couple of relevant questions. Can I change my course later on? So let's say students admitted into one degree, can they change?
Yeah. So if you've got an offer there and you've started in your course, and it happens more often than you think. I actually
Mm.
had a friend who started in law, and she realized she actually really wanted to be a teacher. So in her second trimester, she changed, and she's now a high school teacher. So it does happen, and that's okay. What will happen if you decide that after you've started studying, you want to change courses? Again, give our team a call, and we can help you with the transfer process. All you would need to do is apply for the course you want to go into, and our admissions team will see that you're a current UNE student, and they'll automatically have a look at the units that you've either already completed or that you're currently enrolled in, and they'll try and fit them into the new course that you're going into. So they might count as electives, or if you're studying in a similar field, they might count as listed units or something like that. But our admissions team will assess that for you, and they'll let you know if any of your previous studies can go towards your new course. And so it's really just a matter of applying for the new course, and we'll assess your eligibility. Again, if you're not eligible for the course that you want to go into, we will find a pathway for you and we'll help you get there.
And the other one was around like from interstate. So what if you wanted to apply for early entry from interstate? You mentioned the HSC, but we might have people here that are watching like QCE,
Yeah,
VCE. Yeah.
as
How does
long
that
as you're
work?
in year 12, anyone
Mm,
from anyone across Australia, as long as you're in year 12, you don't even have to be receiving an ATAR. You can apply for early entry at UNE.
awesome. Okay. Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, No worries at all. Again, UNE early entry is another direct application, so it is completely free. You just go to our UNE early entry website, and through there you apply. I'll go into a little bit more about how you can actually do that in the next couple of slides. We have 2 offer rounds with early entry. The first offer round is released in September, so again, before you've even sat your exams, and then we've also got a second round which is released in November, so before you've received your outcome. We would recommend that you apply for round 1. Just takes the stress off if you've already got those offers to UNE before you sit your exams. Finally, we've got UAC and QTAC, so the University Admission Centre, and then QTAC is the Queensland version of that. Suitable for anyone. This is a really great option if you're wanting to apply for a couple of different universities, because you can put different universities as your preferences, and you apply via the UAC or QTAC website, and this is round based, so offers will be released in the round that UAC or QTAC are running, and those dates can be found on their website. All right, I wanted to talk about UNE early entry. So if you're currently in high school, definitely have this up your sleeve. As I mentioned, it is an early offer to UNE. It's actually a guaranteed offer that you'll receive, and it's completely unconditional. It's free and easy to apply. It should only take about 10 to 15 minutes of your time. So really the payoff, I just think it's such a no-brainer. Our round 1 applications are currently open if you're in year 12 right now. If you apply before the 17th of July, you'll actually be considered for an offer before those final exams. So that's really great. It can just take the pressure off. I know I'm the type of person when I have an exam, I do better if I'm less stressed and I don't put as much pressure on myself. So this can really help with those final exams. You choose up to 3 preferences, and we have over 50 courses for you to choose from. There is a full course list available on our early entry page. So if you're wanting to see whether the course you're interested in is available, definitely head there and have a look. It's open to all Year 12 applicants. So across Australia, even if you're not expecting to receive an ATAR, you are still eligible to apply for early entry. You don't have to apply through UAC or QTAC, but if you want to have both, that's absolutely fine. And you can even defer your course for up to at least 12 months, as long as it's not the Bachelor of Nursing. Bachelor of Nursing can't be deferred just because it's a quota based kind of entry with that. So there are a set number of places that you can enroll in for the Bachelor of Nursing. But for all other courses, you can ask to defer that one. And so if you want to take a gap year or you want to go and work for a year, just let us know that you want to defer that course and we'll hold it for you for a year. You can forget about it and we'll actually call you when that deferral has ended and help you with your next steps. Offers are also completely obligation free. So you aren't locked in if you want to, you're not quite sure, you don't have to accept the offer. You're not automatically enrolled or anything like that.
Yeah, look, this is such a great option. And if you're thinking of uni, like look at early offers. It
Mm,
just is such a great way to take that pressure off yourself heading into exams. And like I'll call it, people have been saying, oh, like early offers, yeah, it's like degrading the uni entry process. It's such a load of rubbish. Like
mm,
let's be honest here. People going through their final school exams need less pressure, not more. And if we can take a little bit of that anxiety about the future away, how is that not a good thing? It doesn't mean people are suddenly just going to bludge off because they've applied for early entry. And if you're thinking, I just want to emphasize that thing about the deferral, how's that for a great option? You can already apply for early entry. You can have an offer. You can do your HSC, and then you can make up your mind to go and take I call them exploratory years. Take a year out, explore what you're interested in, do an internship, go traveling, work, and that offer's still sitting there for you. Like, talk about a security blanket for the future.
mm.
So whether it's UNE or another institution, if the opportunity is there to do it, why would you not do it? Go and do
Yeah,
an early
yeah.
offer.
And the other thing I would say too is you can apply for 3 preferences, and we would encourage you to do that because that, if you're not sure, having 3 different options sitting there is really great. You can also defer all 3 of those offers that you receive. So if you receive 3 different courses and you want to go and either study with another university or have a gap year, we would say just defer them anyway. You would be so surprised how many people start at another university or they go, oh, actually, I don't want to study at university. I'm going to go and do this job. And then they call us back a year later and they say, hey, I had an early entry offer, but I didn't do anything with it. I would just recommend deferring those offers. And then If you don't want to take them up, you don't have to, but they're sitting there if you change your mind. So yeah, definitely something to just take advantage of.
The ultimate security in your back pocket. There you go.
Absolutely. Here's how you can apply. I've left the QR code for the early entry website on this page. So this is a great opportunity if you've got your phone handy, maybe just scan the QR code and bookmark the page to come back to. But it's super simple. All you do is create an account. For this, we would say use a personal email when you're setting up an account. If you're in year 12, it might be tempting to go and put your school email in, but often when you finish up, your school will deactivate that student email. So make sure that you sign up with a personal email so that we can contact you and congratulate you on your offer when you receive it. All you have to do is start an application, enter in some personal details so that we can contact you, and choose your 3 courses. Definitely choose all 3. Even if you think you're only interested in one, it just maximizes your options in the long run. Then you enter in your education details. So you let us know what school you're going to. And what will happen is once you submit your application, UNE takes care of the rest. We will actually contact your school. And this is the really interesting part about how early entry works. So, like we kind of talked about before, sometimes there's a bit of an attitude that, early entry doesn't really go off anything if you're guaranteed an offer. But the way that we're actually able to do that is we have a look at your year 11 results. And if you feel like you haven't done well in year 11, don't freak out. What we actually also take into consideration is your non-academic attributes. So we have a bit of a chat with your school. We ask them to tell us what your non-academic attributes are. You can also put in if you've had any kind of, if you're a school captain or you've got any extracurricular activities that you think could support your application. If you've had any educational disadvantage, we'll also take that into account. And then if you're not quite eligible for your preferences, again, we will automatically find you the best pathway into your course. So that's really how early entry works. We'll talk to your school, we'll do all of that. You don't need to worry about that. All you need to do is submit your application and we'll take care of the rest. And I guess just to finish up, I mentioned that I am the team leader of the Future Students team. If you have any questions at all, have a chat to us. Most of the people in my team have either already studied at UNE or they're currently studying at UNE. So even if you just want to have a chat with a UNE student about what it's really like, I think that's a lot of the value add, and some of the best calls are when people just want to get an understanding of what it's like to be a UNE student. But any questions at all, give us a call. I've left our number there. We are open on business days, so Monday to Friday. We open at 8:30 a.m. and close at 5 p.m. You can contact us via email. We also have a live chat. Sometimes people don't feel fully comfortable talking on the phone, and that's okay. We do have a live chat service as well. And we also take face-to-face appointments. So if you want to speak to someone face-to-face, we can definitely facilitate that as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah.
No, that's okay.
One of the things that I just wanted to hone in on, I know I mentioned it earlier, but I'd be interested to get your take on it too. And in fact, I've just pulled up the statistic on my other screen here. Actually, I've just lost my. I just opened the whole thing out.
Mhm.
Here we go. Graduate in terms of graduate employment, because a lot of people, you're going to uni, you want to get a job on the other side of this. 87.3 found full-time employment within 4 months of finishing their degree. That compares to a national average of 77%, so 10%
Mhm.
higher, which is just an enormous. It's a golf. I mean, it's an enormous
Yeah.
amount of difference. Why?
I think it comes down to all of the support. But there's also a lot of networking opportunities. UNE is involved with, particularly, especially, we were talking about agriculture before. We have a really great event called Farming Futures. So if that's kind of an industry that you're interested in getting into, we hold events where it's an opportunity to network with industry experts. So there's lots of different touch points throughout your career that will put you in contact with industry experts, people in the field that you're wanting to go into. And I think those having communication with those people can really set you up for success. I also mentioned our careers team. We have a dedicated careers team to help you with career planning, help you with resume writing. I think all of the different support and the quality of education that you're getting all contributes to those graduate outcomes. So, yeah.
Awesome. Questions come through. Can I change between full-time, part-time, online, on campus?
Yeah, yeah,
Mix them up.
absolutely. And things change. Like my circumstances definitely changed. I ended up being part of the cohort when COVID happened, so I had to go online. Things happen. You might actually get a job in the field that you're wanting to go into while you're studying, and so that might require require you to move or drop down to a part-time study while you're kind of working between your career and study. So that's the beauty of UNE. We're really flexible because we've been doing this for so long. We know that the student experience isn't linear, and we try and tailor it to what you need, where you are. We meet you where you're at. So if you start off, maybe you start off full time and you go, oh, yep, I've got this job now and I want to drop my studies back a little bit, you can give us a call. Once you're actually a current student, because I'm part of the future students team, we also have a current students team. So you basically support it as you go through your student journey, and they can assist you in tailoring your course plan to make sure that you're meeting your unit requirements as you go through your studies. So they can help you make sure that you're picking units, and they can help you drop back a couple of units. Or if you start out part-time and you go, actually, I think I could handle a full-time study load, again, we can help you do that. And online versus on campus is the same. If at any point you want to change and your course is offered on campus, you can just let us know and we'll change that over for you.
Yeah, awesome. Another thing I'd love to hone in on, and this was maybe the thing that shocked me the most when when I was on campus. But actually, having interacted with you and E over a long period of time, maybe shouldn't have
Mhm.
surprised me at all. But is the AI space, right? Now
Mm.
we've got a whole bunch of sessions throughout this
Yeah.
National Virtual Expo on AI, because let's face it, like the world is changing really fast. The world of work is changing really fast, and there is not an industry on the planet that isn't being impacted in some way by either AI technology or robotics, one of the two.
Mhm.
Um, and I was blown away. I got to talk to Aaron Driver, and Aaron's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
presenting a bunch of sessions with me at this virtual expo. So if you're interested in how AI is impacting work, how to use it to study better, if you're a parent and don't know about it, but want to know how you can support your kids with this new technology, we have a whole session called AI Fundamentals for Parents. Please come and join us, because we really break this stuff down for you. But can you talk to that a little bit, Sarah, about what the institution's doing in that space? Yeah.
Yeah, it's really exciting. We actually have a department called Lab Next 70, and through that, we've got our very own UNE AI platform. So it's completely secure and safe through UNE. We teach you how to use it, so we don't just kind of let you run free with AI. And sometimes it's, if you haven't used it before, it's a little bit like, oh, how can I actually maximize it? How can I use AI to help me while I'm studying? We actually have training for you, and yeah, it's our very own AI platform called Madgwick, and there's lots and lots that you can do with it. And we have our very own specialized team, and yeah, we're doing a lot of exciting things in that space. So definitely, yeah, part of the future, and I think we all have to embrace it. And yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is the thing that stunned me. And once again, maybe I shouldn't have been stunned, because UNE, and this is one of the things that most people, around Australia don't actually understand. UNE was the first to do distance education, like really do it properly, or one of. There's one other institution that was pretty early as well. Um, Online education, same thing. Like UNE was at the leading edge. It didn't take COVID to come along and unis go, oh my God, I've got to put everything online. Like UNE had already been doing it for 20 years. Um, so it should be no surprise, actually, not just to me, but to anyone, that of course UNE is leading this charge with this new technology. And it was it's the extent that this technology will define the workforces of the future. And I'll be very honest, some institutions out there are really lagging on this. Like they're just not
Mm,
embracing it as much as they need to. They're not putting it into the hands of students as much as they should. They're resisting. You can't resist the change. Like you can't resist
no,
the technology doesn't care how you feel. It's
no.
coming.
Yeah. And I think we also put, you're not going into it blindly, because I think as a student it can be a little, where does the line, where, how much can I use AI? where does the line end? And we've kind of taken that into consideration. And each of your units will have a bit of a structure in terms of part of your assessments, you'll be able to use AI. So you might be able to use that for some prompts or, rewording assignments to make sure that you're hitting all of the points that you need to hit. And then there'll be what are called assurance tasks. So as part of your assignments, this is kind of really up to how your individual unit coordinators want to run things. So we're making sure that you feel nice and structured. You know what you're allowed to do, and you're not kind of feeling like you're going in blind and you're not sure how to use it. So yeah, all of that's taken into consideration.
This is what every university needs to be doing. UNE is at the leading edge. And I said this, I'm like hanging my hat on this quite literally. So I was up there doing my uni review, and I would honestly say, based on this alone, UNE is worth a look. Even if you're thinking about this alone, because this technology is literally going to reshape workforces, having the skills and being at the cutting edge of being able to use AI, understand AI, having worked with AI is such a selective advantage going into the workforce. I believe that it doesn't matter what field you're looking at, you should absolutely look at UNE on the basis of that, if nothing else. Now take it with a grain of salt. Like I work in the space, so I've got it. Like I'm really up to speed with this stuff. That is a serious recommendation. Haven't been paid to say it. It's been very clear. Honestly, yeah. You're like, great. You've done my job for me.
Yeah, thanks. say less. No, it's so true though. I'm really proud to be part of, hearing all of these different innovations that are coming through for a regional university. We're really, kind of leading the charge with that. So it's really exciting, and we've just all got to embrace it. And it's great that we're actually really seriously making sure that everyone has access to it, but also knows how to use it and feels comfortable in using that. So you'll come out with skills in AI as well, even if that's not really what your kind of field is in.
Yeah, and that's the key, isn't it? It's like sorry, I've taken us down a whole rabbit hole here, but like you're in nursing, okay, you're going to understand a little bit about this technology, and don't have any doubt, this technology is coming to nursing, it's coming to teaching, it's coming to humanities, it's coming to creative, it's everywhere, whether you like it or not. So understanding it, I really believe, is one of the most important things for the workforce of the future. So hats off.
Thank you.
To you and me for leading that. Well, Sarah, this has been a lovely conversation and presentation. Thank you so much for joining me at the National Virtual Expo. I might just bring up that slide one more time with the contact details. Do you want to just re-emphasize that one more time for people watching along, how they can find out more about UNE and how they can get in touch?
Yeah, of course. So, really your go-to will be the Future Students team. We can answer any questions that you have. Literally, some people call up and all they have is, I think I want to go to university, but I don't know what I want to study. If you've got a particular career in plan, we can help you find the right course, answer all of your questions about which entry pathway is best for you, how to apply, all that fun stuff. So we're open on business days, Monday through to Friday. We have multiple different channels depending on how you want to communicate. So if you'd like to give us a call, I've left our number on the screen. It's a free call, 1-800-818-865. And that phone line is open 8:30 a.m. to 5. You can also submit inquiries if they're just general student inquiries through to Ask UNE. And we also have a dedicated early entry team if you've got an early entry related question. And then we also have a live chat service. And we are real people. Often we get asked, am I speaking to a robot when you come through live chat? So even though we are using a lot of AI, you actually are talking to a future student staff member. So you can access that live chat just through our website.
Sarah, thank you so much for joining me at the National Virtual Expo.
Thank you so much for having me.
And so if you're watching along on the recording, all the details for what Sarah's been talking about, you find them actually down in the session description down below. We've got links to the application page, to scholarships, to the course catalogue, and everything like that. And of course, sessions running all throughout the week. We really have got so many great sessions, including those ones I just mentioned around AI, how it's impacting the workforce, AI fundamentals for parents. We'd love to see you at another session. And all of these sessions, if you can't make them live, that is okay. Everything is on demand for the next 2 weeks. So please make sure you check out those any of the sessions that are of interest to you. It's been awesome having you here at the National Virtual Expo. I'm Rob Maliki, and have yourself a wonderful evening. I'll see you in one of the next sessions. Well, I hope you got something out of this session. And if you have any questions at all, you can head to choosingyouruni.com and ask Lumen. Lumen is your AI guide who knows about every university, every pathway, every option that we've talked about throughout this virtual expo. And Lumen is available to talk to you 24/7. So it's ready when you are.